Joe, where are you? Joe! Oh, crackies, people. I found myself in a weird maze. But folks, I have to be very quiet here. I see walking Aunt Jemimas walking about, and they're huge, giant Aunt Jemimas. They got guns and all that stuff, and oh boy. Then over in the other side of the maze, it's me, Curly Joe, folks, and I'm all by myself. I found myself walking into a weird castle where, oh boy, what is inside this door? Joe is Joe has walked into a weird castle where he has fallen into an endless abyss. Well, that would explain the. Okay. Then in another part of this weird world that Dark Bilo and Sir William Esquire and Sergeant have made, the abbot finds himself in the strange maze. Oh no! It's a weird maze! This is a very strange maze. Where am I? It's very strange. Oh, I can hear. Listen, folks! Listen, listen! Help me! I'm over here! Help me! Not the enemy! Oh no, Greta Joe! Oh, you hear that? They're both lost. They're both lost. Or what do we do? Oh no, they're both lost. As he is looking for them, he hides. For giant woodchucks walk by who are getting orders from Milo and company. Oh no! It's a giant woodchuck! Oh, that's not something you want to run into. Oh no! They don't smell right! They don't smell right! I don't want to do this anymore! I can still hear Joe and Glennon in the corner. They're out there somewhere. Abbott, help us! Abbott, help us! Hey, Abbott, I'm over here. Can you help me? It's very not nice over here. This is terrible. What about my friends? What am I going to do? The abbot has successfully hid, but instead is caught by a character called the Swashbuckler. The Swashbuckler is from 1799, but doesn't know why he is here or where Glenn and Joe are. And then, my name is the Swashbuckler. Hey, excuse me, sir. What are you doing here? You're dressed up like a, some kind of reverend or something. I don't understand. The Swashbuckler. Well, actually, me and my friends are lost right now. Have you seen it looks like a lumberjack. A lumberjack. He's dressed up, in flannels. He's got a little hat on his head, and Oh, I see you're giving me a no. You're just shaking your head no. Also, there's a man named Curly Joe, and he has a roughly shaved head on top, and he's very silly, very silly. And I see you're giving me the no. You're just shaking your head and stuff, and oh, that's not good. You haven't even seen them. Well, sir, I let you know that I've been living in these parts for a long time. A long, 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 long. And the abbot is just like staring at him. Long, 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 long. 20 hours later. Long, 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 long. Oh, what'd you stop doing, Dad? What is wrong with you? It's like you glitched out. Oh, I am sorry. The war wound. The war wound is always, it's always doing that. Every once in a while I get stuck, and it's like I especially with my L's, my L's and the O's together. It's like no, you're doing it again. We're gonna be here for years. Well, actually, I am entirely sure how long I've been here. I said, well, you know what I said. Yeah, I know. I heard it long. Oh, that's quite good. Yeah. I gotta go. I gotta go to the bathroom, and he just disappears. Oh, I'm all by myself now. All by myself. I hope, folks at home, I do hope that wherever Glenn and Joe are, they could play a video game for you. This is gonna take a little bit for me to figure this out. Back at the council room, you would be thinking, well, where the heck is Dark Milo at and all that? And he's watching. This is very, very pleasing. This is a wonderful thing. Dark Milo, I'm very quite impressed how this experiment is going. This world access thing has been quite wonderful. This is a power trip. I mean, at first I was like, doing this, I'm like, I need to know where Mr. Pennypacker is. I need to know, because we need to start making Fortnite videos in Reseller of the Week again. We need to do this. We need to get control. But then I'm like doing this like Sir William Esquire. This is fun. This is I don't think in the history of the Saturn Garage stuff we've had this much fun. Yes, it's because we have old episodes of Doctor Who from the 60s, and the writing is so good. It's so good, but then we add a comedic spin to it, so it's really fun. People at home, and don't worry, Glenn and Joe, we haven't killed them off or something. I know you're like, where are they at? They're in their part of the world right now. They're going to be playing the game. They're going to play a Fallout 4. That's a good one. That's a classic. That's a good, fun game. Although at the time it wasn't so much. It was mostly just an overly patched Skyrim with a lot of cheap mechanics and things like that. It got a lot of flack actually at the time, but it's quite popular. Whatever. Okay, we'll go to the game. Well, Joe, I don't know where we are in the world, and we're in some weird dimension, but once again we got a console and we got a controller and we are playing Fallout 4. It's really a little too weird for me, man. I don't know. Oh, Joe, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for your what you're thinking, because I don't know what to think either. That Milo is really must be having a fun time with this. I don't know what this is. Some weird Doctor Who stuff. I don't know. So what are we doing now? What we're doing, Joe, is we're playing Fallout 4. And we're just trying our best not to get destroyed by something, because I know that in the past, anytime I played this, you don't know. Sometimes you just get ganged up on by things, and so it's kind of best just to be kind of sneaky, and especially these games will kind of usually reward you for, the only criticism I had about this game is it's much more of a shooter than it is an RPG. There's still elements of RPG in it, but it was a lot less than, say, Fallout New Vegas. So, well, but it's still a good game, very big game for its time. It's still a big game, and Bethesda still, when they want to put out one of these games, they do. But it's time between the time they bring out a game like this and then the next game is becoming longer and longer. You'll notice we're playing this. It's because at the time we're recording this, I'm so sorry. It's a Saturn thing. We do episodes in advance. Literally no joke, this episode will be coming out in February of 2024, and it was recorded in August of 2023? So that's why you're wondering, what is the deal with you guys not playing Starfield? Is because literally it didn't come out yet. It didn't come out yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's on our dashboard as far as pre-order. It's on there. We got the pre-order download install on it, but which is a little weird because at the time you're hearing this, there's a pack called the Old Man Pack or some Old Man Mars Pack or something like that, and apparently it's not downloading right or something. It's really the first time we've ever had anything on the Xbox Series X where it just it's not downloading. I'm sure why that is, of course. It's because you need the full game release and, day one patch and all that, and so we, instead of having it just be sitting there waiting to successfully download, we're just going to just wait until the day of and just. So we do have a companion. We got her from the Diamond City, which is basically Boston. So, in these games, we were starting to play this because the reality is the assets of this game are clearly can be seen quite well in Starfield, and so this would be the ideal game to play until then. That you would want to play this, I know someone could say, well, what about Fallout 76? Well, do I even need to get into the reputation of that one? I mean, the reason why you notice a Microsoft logo now, probably when Starfield comes out, you'll see a Microsoft Studios logo probably now or something. Yeah, it's because Bethesda is now part of Microsoft. And why did that happen? It's because of Fallout 76's really bad sales and the amount of money they bled and lost because of that game. And I know a person keeps saying, well, what happened to all the Skyrim money? They made fortunes on Skyrim. Well, probably what happens a lot of times is these companies, sometimes they put everything on the line for a particular project. They probably went, well, how would a online Fallout not sell? And it's because, well, it's broke. And that's why it didn't sell. Now, we do have a copy of Fallout 76. But again, it probably demands the internal memory, and you know what that means. That means that our precious eternal memory has to be used by that game. And and I gotta admit, Frater kind of trained me well. He said that sometimes when a game sucks and sometimes it's weird and awkward, there's an attraction to it later on. Like it's like a museum piece. He told me like you could say, well, who would ever play Action 52? Well, it would be like the person who would. Why would you want to go to a museum and see when watch a film about a train crashing, or that was badly put together and it just blew up? Wow, it's because you have a human fascination for failure. That's what he told me. It's a human fascination for failure. I never really met this Ferris H guy. He sounds like a really nice guy. He is. He's a genius, and I don't know what happened. He got like sent away to different dimensions, and last time that person who shall not be named, because now there's a guy called Sir William Esquire, before he went Anakin on me. Basically, last time we saw him was when him and Pugapi Adams jumped into a volcano. Or they went into some portal, but we saw them fall into a volcano. And that's a traumatic thing to see. Yeah, let me get the point. He jumped into a volcano but didn't? Joe, I don't really understand it. We didn't know he was alive even until I even hate to say that name. Sir William Esquire, found that he found a Game Gear with a letter on it. It's like Back to the Future, when like all of a sudden, they turn around and, the post office says, hey, there's this letter. It's been waiting for you since the 1800s. It's like, we don't even know how we found it. And it's like, it never got delivered. Well, it's kind of like that. So Frater had apparently, set up a Game Gear or something that had an adapter to it, a dimensional adapter to it. Now we're gonna have to get around that train. Oh, that was not good. We lost half our health. That was not smart. We were gonna go on top of the rail there and just try to crawl by that distraction. That's not a good one. But yeah, so basically what ends up happening is we it's the train of thought. It's a Stalingrad problem. Right? It is a Stalingrad trait. We even teach our new characters. You gotta lose your train of thought. It's part of the process of being a host on this show. So we turned the Game Gear on, and there he was. There was Frater, and he's in some year 2011, and I don't know if he's still there or I can't remember. Probably there's going to be a continuity issue here if I keep going, and even though Mr. Pennypacker's been missing now for a while, I think he would literally come out of hiding just to tell me to shut up. He's like, first off, we have no control. We have no continuity control on the show. So literally, you could say something that actually is answered in an older episode, but you forgot because we do this show every weekend. So please shut up for the sake of the show. So we're trying to do our best to kind of stay on course here. I mean, try to at least do one of the missions or something, I'm going to be honest with you here at Stalingrad. We're more of an Elder Scroll people than Fallout people. We have a tendency to follow, like Frater told me he did beat the main quest of Skyrim. He did that. And actually that was the first time in an Elder Scrolls he ever finished the main quest. He said that never finished Oblivion. He never finished Morrowind, and well, Morrowind's a lot harder of a game than the other games. With Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, he told me those were games where you could literally be in one corner of the world and not pay any attention to the main quest. And a lot of times he actually admitted it was one of those games where it was better to watch someone else play it. And I think we just found a settlement here. Although initially when we were playing this, we were like, uh-oh. But it says settler, so yeah, so we were like, okay, yeah, these people are alright. But you never know, so you talk to them, and then you start doing something for them, and then you have access to their territory, and you can help to kind of build up. I'm going to let you know this area right here, though, is not very good as far as, like, getting really ambitious. Like it's really not very good for that. There's not a lot of room. There's not a lot of room to build something decent for these people. You just kind of have to just, whatever, I'm sure if I just took the time and just figure out what to do, and yeah, see, we're not allied with these people yet, so we need to get allied. So, we're gonna probably head off to kill these ghouls for these people, and of course, I'm not even entirely sure if that's part of the quest or not. I think it is, yeah. So, Fallout 4 is a game. What Frater told me is, he told me, hold on a second here. He told me that he explained to me, he said, I didn't get anywhere in that game. And I explained why. He didn't get anywhere in that game because he really, really got into the, he got into like the village creation, the building creation, he said that he almost created like this Marxist communist fantasy land. He had like a compound, and I don't know if it's in some of the early videos. At some point there, you may actually get to see it. It's in this game save. That he literally, no joke, people. He made like a nice compound. It's got like turrets on it and stuff. It's totally safe from anything to attack it. And nothing has attacked it yet, probably because we're not at that point in the game. But it's got a little farming area around it. It's got water resources, and he said he kind of went all out. Even had like an upstairs, downstairs areas. And he said he hadn't accessed the features to make like a little market area. He was going to make a market area, and he was going to add like state capitalism and stuff like that to it. And he said he admitted very much he got way too much into it, and I'm sorry. He got way too much into it, and yeah, I don't know why it's saved right now. I think maybe we had to go to the bathroom or something. We were recording this. It's a good game, but it's like I said, this was the game to play though, because of Starfield, and where we still haven't figured out what we're gonna do in that one. I like the idea of maybe like making a very small StarCraft at first, and a little spacecraft, and just be kind of a nomad and not be really affiliated with anyone yet, and then kind of go with it, you know? Because that's really the way it works with these kinds of games. Like Fallout New Vegas was the best because it had every group you found in that game you can join. But there was different times when you can join them and you couldn't join them. Like Legion, you couldn't join until like later, and you could actually join them, which is really probably not optimal for the way the game is, because you're really, you know what I mean? Like, you're not really supposed to join them because they're the bad guys. They're, going around crucifying people, and it's just terrible, 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 monstrous people. But Frater told me, well, Frater has a weird brain. So he said at the time, though, he said, well, if you think about you think about different ages of human race, actually the Romans had, they had aqueducts, they had sewage, they actually had a lot of innovations that were fairly important to the history of the human race. And, of course, eventually once they were Christianized, that, there you go, you sort of had that advancement. So he was saying, actually, in New Vegas, he said it would be better the Legion be in control, because if they're trying to replicate the Roman Empire, well, there you go. Yeah, you would have slavery. That's a bad side, but you would start things over again, and eventually they would be reformed, But, but that's Frater. Frater's a bit of a weirdo. It should be never recommended to go with the Legion, because mostly it's because the direction of the game is, like, yeah, Fallout is where you could actually join the bad guys, but it's sometimes not optimal for we're not going to really mess with that guy right there, because we don't know if he might attack us. There are some areas where there's Brotherhood of Steel members, and they, in past games like Fallout and stuff, they were relatively good guys, but, I don't know in this game at the time if they are good or not good, and so you kind of want to be a little bit on the careful side. And at the time, it's not like we were heavily armored. You could see we're just in clothes, so it's not like we're totally loaded with armor here. And these games were always like the best if you're really into like urban exploration videos and stuff. And of course, it's the nice thing about this game is you don't have to worry about black mold, because a lot of the people I've ever watched, a lot of times they end up getting very ill because they go into some place and they end up going to the emergency room with black mold in their lungs, and and I've literally known people who have had fungus in their lungs. It didn't happen to me, luckily. I was at a job where I dealt with a lot of mold, but my other coworkers, they got very sick. And it's different. It's like a virus. A virus is easier to get over than fungus. So we're all about out of time here. We're going to do more and more. I do admit the Fallout games give you plenty of content, though. Of course, well, I'll see you, folks. We'll